Welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. We're gonna barbecue a pig today. Thanks for stopping in at the Piney Woods Homestead. Hit that like and subscribe if you hadn't, and if you have, guys, as always, y'all, we appreciate you. All right, now that we have a good fire going in the barrel, starting to make some coals, we're gonna build a small fire in the pit because you wanna warm that pit up for at least an hour, an open pit like this, before you ever put your pig on top of the cooking surface. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. All right, I got some kindling down here in the bottom. Take some of these hot coals. Put them on top of that kindling. Get us a fire started over here. And it won't take but a few minutes. So y'all, while I'm getting my pit warm, I'll give you a little backstory on pork barbecue in eastern North Carolina, at least. That's the only thing I'm familiar with because that's where my family roots lie. But way back when, y'all, they didn't even use cinder block pits like this. Down in the coastal part of the state, a lot of sandy loam, they just dig a trench, throw green saplings on top of it, burn down their wood in either a pit or a barrel if they had one, and shovel coals along the edge of that pit and cook the pigs right on the top of that trench. And so we mimic that today by doing it on a couple of courses of block and a grate. Same concept, just different materials. And there's not probably a whole lot of folks that are still cooking them straight on top of the ground like this. Most people are using cookers. When I was a child, it was nothing to watch. It was commonplace to watch my dad, men in the church, things like that, have 6 or 7 hogs going, or pigs as we call them, you know, hog being a certain amount of weight, pig being up to that. It's just vernacular, y'all. But it was nothing to watch them cooking pigs all night long for a church benefit, something like that, or just sitting with my dad watching him cook pigs. So that's how I've picked it up, y'all, over the years. And believe it or not, this is going to be the first one I've ever cooked all by myself. I have always either watched my dad do it or he's helped me. So this is my first time, y'all, and so we're going to do it together. All right, the pig is on, and I did not put this pig on a scale. This was that runt pig that just wasn't keeping up with those other topping pigs down there. But he's heavier than a 50-pound bag of feed. I'm thinking he's probably around 70 pounds dressed. They always look smaller a lot of times until you get them dressed out, then you're like, man, this thing's bigger than I thought. But even to be the runt, he's well formed, got good hams, good shoulders, good loins. So we're just going to keep shoveling coals slowly, mainly on the thickest parts, the hams and the shoulders up front, and a little bit along the sides. And it's just a slow process, y'all. You want to hear a very slow drip. That drip, pss, drip, pss. You don't want it dripping fast because you'll burn your pig. So it's just a slow burn, and you may have to move coals around. I see some lighting up down there right now. I'm gonna move out of the way a little bit, but slow cook, y'all. It's high noon. He's on here at high noon. This little pig will cook in probably, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get him cooked in 5 hours. Now, y'all, one thing I'm gonna do that I can't remember if Daddy did or not is I'm gonna put some kosher salt on his back while he is sweating out cooking. It's gonna help to draw moisture out. That way, when we flip this pig, we're gonna lard its back down good with lard, and then we're gonna crisp that skin. This is just hopefully gonna help it be a little crispier. Y'all, my daughter Kyla helped me yesterday. Lisa, I told her, I said, you got the day off. Kyla needs to learn to do this with me. Lisa's done it, and now it's Kyla's turn. So we scalded and scraped the pig, and the best thing, y'all, that I have found for scraping a pig is a big mason jar lid. We've got a couple of those bale scrapers, but honest to goodness, they don't work as good. Once you have scalded that pig, though, we pick the hair by hand as much as we can. Use the garden hoe in the scalder, knock it off, and once it's out, we are able to do the rest of it with that jar lid. Plus, we take an old hickory knife and shave it real good. We don't do any burning as far as burning the hair off, just because I don't like the way that stuff smells. Even though I don't smell good, I can smell that. And I want to get that hair follicle out the best that I can anyhow. So it works great. This pig looks wonderful. This is going to be an enjoyable cook for me today. Right here, guys, is the chopping block that I made last year when we cooked that much larger, it was a hog, about a 300-pound hog, on that Lang cooker. And it's just red oak. I believe that's what it might be. Actually, it's white oak. It's white oak. And, you know, I can't remember, but I think it's white oak because that's the hardest oak there is, and that's what I wanted. So, but 2 inches thick. All we did yesterday is Kyla helped me clean it up. We keep it in the feed room. Cleaned it up, Cloroxed it good, and then put a fresh coat of mineral oil on it. That just helps as a barrier as far as keeping liquids from going down into the wood. But we'll chop it right here, and then we're going to just put it in meat lugs, carry it to the house. This is actually going to be for my in-laws' Christmas gathering. And so we're going to actually reheat it the next day, which is not the best way to do it, but I wanted to be able to show y'all cooking this thing, and I can't really do that in the dark. And so we're doing it today, and honestly, I'm glad I'm doing it during the day. I can see good, I feel good, and I see clouds too, so that might be an ominous sign for if I was going to cook it at night. So anyways, I'm rambling. I'm gonna put this thing on a little time lapse to let you see this pig getting cooked. All right, y'all been time-lapsing with me for about 2 hours, guys. This pig is looking fantastic. All that salt that I put on the back is drawing up all that moisture that's coming out of this pig from the top side. And it's just gonna help to make a crunchier skin when I flip him over and go to basically putting a broiler on that skin with the shovel and some coals. But I don't know if you can tell in the time-lapse, but I come through here and put my hand, you can see down here, over the pit, and all I'm doing is checking for temperature. There is no thermometer used in a process like this. It is solely listening to the drip, making sure that your fat is dripping slow, making sure that your pit's not cooling off too much, and not getting too hot. So it is all about cooking by sound and eye, y'all. This is old-timey cooking, and people don't do it a whole lot no more because it takes so long. I mean, you figure yesterday we spent about 3 hours harvesting the pig, scalding the pig, getting all the hair off, dressing the pig, and then putting it on ice for the night. And then it's going to be at least 5 hours to cook this little pig today. If you had a 100-pound pig, you can go ahead and figure about 8. And we'll flip this pig once. I don't know if you can see this in the time lapse or not, but I'll show you just to give you some education. If you'll come in here and put your hand on the hams and on the shoulders, it's still cool. There is no heat. Once you can feel heat, I mean good heat, coming from these hams right here, it's time to flip that pig over. We're nowhere near that stage right now, y'all. And y'all learn that from my daddy. It's good to have some old timers that know what they're doing to teach the next generation. And y'all, this is something that most folks don't do today. It's a dying thing, y'all. So I'm thankful that the Lord has given me the strength to be able to do it at least one more time. Y'all, I've been using all these cutoffs that you saw me bring over here several weeks ago. I told you I had a plan for it. This is part of the plan. There's other plans that we have for all of the cutoffs that are not long enough for 6-10-inch firewood. But I'm using the oak and the hickory out of it and some maple to keep my burn barrel burnt down, so I got plenty of coals to cook this pig. Y'all, I'm about 3 hours into this cook, but I know that light's fading, so I want to do a little something here to show you what we do to get ready to crisp that skin up. I start by taking off that salt that I put on here to help draw moisture out of the skin. And you ain't got to get it all off, because we want it salty. Salty pork is a good thing. Now y'all, after you've gotten the salt off, you want to take some of last year's hog lard. Get it on a paper towel and smear it all over this skin. That's going to help you get some crispy pork skins when you flip this pig over and go to making a broiler out of your shovel and some coals up under the skin. Now, if this ain't old school, I don't know what is, y'all. I broke my shovel handle beating on the side of this burn barrel to get the coals to drop, because I got some pretty big wood in there right now. That's all right though, I can make another one, but it's still working. Y'all, I'm gonna flip this pig here in a few minutes so you can see that. All right, we are 4.5 hours in. It's almost hot to the touch on the hams. Still a little cool on the shoulders, but they're gonna keep cooking as we flip it. We'll run out of daylight here, so I'm gonna take a board, put down so I don't burn my feet. So I can step on that board, reach over here, grab hold of this pig, flip him over. And he's crusty over here, but that's all right. We're gonna pick some of that off. All right, we cleaned up those ribs that were burnt, charred, got them off to the side, but a little bit of crispies that we'll snack on. I'm taking some of our homemade North Carolina Eastern style sauce, and I'm just dressing this pig in this sauce while it's doing its final cook for probably at least an hour here on the cooker. And I'll take my spatula and kind of break into these hams a little bit. Loosen that meat up. So that my sauce, and I keep burning my boots, took my board off, my sauce will go down there. Same thing with the shoulders. Kind of loosen those up a little bit. And the shoulders probably take longer to cook, y'all, than anything, just because it's one of the thickest parts of the pig. But this is going to sit right here and marinate in this sauce as it cooks for the last bit. Y'all, we're gonna have to wrap this video up just because the sun's setting, and we're at least an hour away from being done with this pig. But I'm gonna grab me a little piece off where the ribs were, and it's smoking hot, y'all. But look at that. I'm gonna have me a little taste test. Probably gonna burn me slap silly. That's enough right there to make you grow your own, raise your own pigs. Ain't nothing better than fresh pork, fresh barbecue, y'all. Guys, wish we could show you chopping it and all that, but we're just running out of light. Y'all have a good day, a great week. Hope you enjoyed the video and seeing how we cook them on the ground here in North Carolina. Have a good day, great week. We'll see you on the next one. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise too much higher.